Figure just did the impossible, and almost no one saw it coming. In a move that could redefine the future of humanoid robots in the workforce, Figure AI has quietly dropped a stunning new video that left even the most seasoned robotics experts speechless. Their humanoid robot, Figure 2, was captured performing one of the most complex tasks we've seen from a bipedal machine so far, autonomously scanning and sorting packages with real-world variability, including soft, deformable ones.
The second is the consumer household. So how do we do everyday things in the house, like do laundry, like put away dishes, clean up the kids' toys. So basically, we've designed the hardware to be able to do what like an average human can. And we rank this on like range of motion, torques and powers, like basically payloads and speeds. Can we basically like do what a human can physically?
Welcome back, guys. Alfie here, bringing you another groundbreaking update. Figure has just released a video that could change everything we thought we knew about humanoid robotics. You're watching the AI Nexus, and as always, we're here to bring you every step of the future. Let's go. Let's be clear. This isn't a staged handoff or a carefully scripted set of robotic motions. This is a robot operating in a real warehouse-like setting, making decisions on the fly, and using nothing but visual input and AI to guide its every move. Figure 02 identifies each package, determines its type and destination, and executes the correct motion, all with a level of smoothness, speed, and reliability that's closer than ever to human capability. What makes this even more groundbreaking is the fact that all of this is being powered by a single neural network. No complex rules-based programming, no manually tuned behaviors, just an AI model trained to take in raw camera frames and output physical actions, end to end. This is a seismic shift in robotics development. We're not just teaching robots how to move anymore. We're teaching them to decide how to move in real time, based on what they see.
With packages, it's really tough. In the case of like logistics work we're doing with small packages, every single package and every single instance of packages coming together is different for the robot every single time. And you cannot solve this with code.
You can't solve this with code.
You can't code your way out of this problem. It's impossible.
Brett Adcock, the CEO and founder of Figure, was crystal clear on this point. In his own words, you can't code your way out of this problem. The message is simple but powerful. Traditional robotics can't scale to solve real-world tasks at human-level dexterity. The only path forward is through AI-native solutions. And Figure is proving that in the most concrete way imaginable. This demo isn't about robots in the abstract. It's not about sci-fi dreams or speculative future projections. It's about what's happening right now. Robots understanding the world, planning their actions, and executing them, all in a unified loop without human micromanagement. And they're doing it at a pace that's accelerating faster than most people realize. Let's talk about the motion, because if you haven't seen the video yet, it's honestly mesmerizing. The way Figure 02 picks up both rigid and soft packages, scans barcodes, and sorts them efficiently looks more like a human warehouse worker than a clunky robot arm from the past. The transitions are fluid. The grip adjustments are subtle and dynamic. The machine isn't just performing a sequence, it's perceiving, adapting, and completing tasks with genuine awareness of its environment. This might seem like a small step from the outside, just moving boxes, right? But in robotics, this is a massive leap. Especially when you're dealing with deformable objects, which don't behave predictably. Unlike a plastic bin or a metal tool, a padded envelope doesn't always rest the same way. It might sag, fold, or bounce. So for a robot to not only recognize it but handle it appropriately without crushing or fumbling, that's a milestone. And here's the kicker. This is just the beginning. Brett Adcock didn't stop at showcasing what Figure 02 can do today. He also unveiled details about their next-generation robot, Figure 03, and the headline number is jaw-dropping. Figure 03 is projected to be 93% cheaper than Figure 02. Not 9, not 30, 93. That level of cost reduction doesn't just open the door to mass adoption, it kicks the door wide open. For comparison, think about what happened with smartphones. The first iPhones were expensive, experimental, and limited in capability. But as production scaled and technology matured, the cost dropped dramatically, And suddenly, smartphones were everywhere. Now imagine that same curve, but with humanoid robots. That's the trajectory Figure is aiming for, and with Figure 03, they're signaling that they're well on their way. Adcock was clear about the broader ambition. The company is well capitalized to support massive scaling. They're preparing to train large-scale models, roll out industrial-strength inference pipelines, and eventually produce hundreds of thousands of humanoid robots. That's not just for show. That's a long-term, economically viable vision. And it means Figure is thinking far beyond flashy demos. Still, what's interesting is their philosophy on growth. Despite the bold vision and massive scale potential, Figure isn't trying to balloon into a corporate giant overnight. Instead, they're keeping their team lean, nimble, and innovation-focused. They're prioritizing speed, agility, and iteration, qualities that often get lost when companies scale too fast. And that might be one of the smartest decisions they've made. Let's rewind a bit. A few years ago, the idea of a general-purpose humanoid robot doing useful work in unstructured environments seemed far off. Even the most advanced bots struggled with stairs, dropped items, or couldn't handle any task outside a predefined script. But Figure is blowing past those limitations by treating robotics not as a mechanical problem, but as a data problem. This is where that single neural network becomes so important. In traditional robotics, you build a system from the ground up with separate components for vision, control, motion planning, object recognition, and so on. But the future is end-to-end learning. Feed the robot raw data, let it learn the patterns, and trust the neural net to figure out the rest. It's exactly what happened with large language models like ChatGPT, except now we're seeing the physical equivalent. And the reason this works now, when it didn't before, is because the compute power, data infrastructure, and model architectures have finally caught up. Figure is building robots with AI brains trained on massive real-world data. Every movement, every interaction, every edge case becomes part of a growing dataset that feeds back into smarter, more capable robots. It's a virtuous cycle, and it scales fast. That's also why the cost reduction is so important. As Figure brings down the price of each robot, they can deploy more units in the real world. More deployments mean more data. More data means better models. Better models make the robots more useful. And as usefulness increases, so does demand. It's the same feedback loop that turned the iPhone from a curiosity into a necessity. And Figure wants to do the same for humanoids. Now, let's not sugarcoat this. There are still challenges ahead. Humanoid robots operate in environments that are incredibly variable. Unlike factory robots that bolt parts together on an assembly line, humanoids need to deal with chaotic, messy, real-world settings. That includes everything from uneven floors and changing lighting conditions to human coworkers and unexpected obstacles. But Figure's approach, AI first, neural network driven, and data intensive, is uniquely positioned to tackle those complexities. And when you think about where this could go, it's hard not to get excited. Imagine warehouses staffed by robots that never get tired, homes assisted by bots that understand your needs, and industries where labor bottlenecks are eased by safe, reliable automation. These aren't futuristic fantasies anymore. They're rapidly becoming viable economic realities. We're now seeing a convergence point in AI and robotics that few anticipated arriving this quickly. Figure is right at the heart of that convergence. They're not just building a robot, they're building an entire platform for intelligent embodied agents. That platform will learn, adapt, scale, and ultimately integrate into everyday life. And here's the wildest part. It's happening in front of us in real time. Every few months, Figure drops a new demo, and each one feels like a leap forward. But this latest video is something else entirely. It's the clearest signal yet that humanoid robotics has left the realm of theory and stepped into practical, scalable execution. The implications of this go far beyond logistics. Sure, sorting packages is a great test case. It's repetitive, high volume, and commercially relevant. But if a humanoid robot can do that task with end-to-end autonomy, what else can it learn to do? Office support, elder care, manufacturing assistance, disaster response? The applications are endless. And with AI at the core, every new use case just becomes another opportunity to improve the model. We're not just watching a robot sort boxes. We're witnessing the birth of a scalable digital worker, an embodied AI system that can be taught, deployed, refined, and upgraded without rebuilding hardware or rewriting code. That's the dream, and Figure is closer to realizing it than anyone thought possible. So, while most of the world is still catching up, Figure is quietly rewriting the rules of what robots can do. And if this latest breakthrough is any indication, we're in for a future where intelligent, autonomous humanoids are not just part of science fiction, they're part of everyday life. Keep your eyes on Figure. Because what they just did? It wasn't just impressive. It was the future, arriving a little earlier than expected. And just when you think things couldn't get any more futuristic, two of the biggest global brands have taken the humanoid spotlight in completely different ways. Amazon is quietly training bipedal robots to walk packages right up to your front door. Meanwhile, Pepsi just unleashed a humanoid robot so flashy it shared the stage with David Beckham. This isn't sci-fi hype. It's happening in real time. One side aiming to revolutionize logistics, the other using robotics to turn heads and sell soda. Two completely different moves, but both pointing to the same thing. The future of humanoid robots is no longer experimental. It's going mainstream. Let's start with Amazon, because this development isn't just about future tech. It's about reshaping the way goods move around the world, right down to your front door. According to an exclusive report from The Information, Amazon has constructed a full-scale indoor obstacle course where humanoid robots are being put to the test. Not in simulation, not in a lab, but in an environment that mimics the real world, with all its chaos, curves, and unpredictability. This isn't some random experiment either. These robots are being evaluated as potential future delivery workers. The ultimate vision is this. Humanoid robots will ride inside Amazon's electric Rivian vans, hop out when they reach your home, and autonomously walk up to your front door to complete the last leg of the delivery process. That final few meters, the so-called last 50 feet, have always been the toughest part to automate. And now, Amazon believes humanoid robots may be the answer. Some of the robots being tested include machines from Unitree, a fast-rising name in the humanoid game. Based in China, Unitree has been making waves with affordable, agile humanoid robots that can already walk, run, and recover from falls. Their recent models, like the H1 and G1, have shown remarkable dexterity and stability on two legs. That's crucial because the human world isn't built for wheels. We have stairs, doormats, uneven tiles, tight corridors, and random toys lying on the floor. And unlike flat, predictable warehouse environments, residential spaces are messy and inconsistent. Amazon's indoor obstacle course is designed to simulate exactly those conditions. It's where robots have to deal with the complexities of a real home. Walking over rugs, navigating furniture, stepping over thresholds, and identifying where to place a package. These are not easy tasks, even for advanced machines. But if a robot can reliably manage those tasks indoors, it's a short step to handling them outside too. The plan is simple but ambitious. A Rivian van pulls up to a customer's address. The rear doors swing open. A humanoid robot steps out, carefully carrying a package. It walks down the driveway, avoids any obstacles along the path, climbs a short set of stairs, and leaves your parcel safely at the doorstep. No human driver, no delivery personnel, just electric vans and bipedal robots in sync. It's not hard to see the long-term upside for Amazon. The company already has fleets of robotic systems inside its warehouses, doing everything from picking to packing. Automating the final delivery segment would close the loop. Imagine a future where a package moves from robotic arms in a fulfillment center into a robot-loaded van and is dropped off by a walking robot, all without a single human touchpoint. That kind of efficiency could rewrite the logistics playbook. Amazon isn't new to robotic experimentation. They've previously tested sidewalk delivery bots like Scout and toyed with drone delivery. But each approach has limitations. Drones face regulatory hurdles and can only carry small payloads. Wheeled robots struggle with stairs and curbs. That's why humanoid robots are suddenly the hot topic. They're flexible, scalable, and physically suited for our world. And what makes this even more intriguing is the role of Unitree. Unlike many Western humanoid robotics companies focused on high-end, multi-million-dollar systems, Unitree is aggressively working to make bipedal robots affordable. Their G1 robot is being promoted with a price tag under $16,000, an absolutely disruptive figure. That means mass deployment isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The connection to Rivian also matters. Amazon has a massive deal with Rivian to deploy over 100,000 electric delivery vans. These vehicles are already on the road. Integrating humanoid bots into this ecosystem could take the automation model even further. It's not just about having smart vans anymore. It's about having smart vans with smart humanoid coworkers inside. And while Amazon is preparing robots to navigate your porch, Pepsi is pulling off something entirely different. If Amazon's approach is about function, Pepsi's move is about flair. And it's grabbing global attention in a way only a brand like Pepsi can. Recently, Pepsi partnered with AgiBot to unveil the FSBOT, a humanoid robot decked out in full Pepsi branding, designed not for deliveries or warehouse work, but for dazzling audiences. And dazzle it did. During the robot's grand unveiling, it appeared on stage beside none other than David Beckham. That's right. The robot shared the spotlight with an international icon, commanding attention and turning heads with every motion. The FSBOT wasn't just standing around like a statue either. It moved gracefully, gestured, posed with Beckham, and interacted with the audience. It had personality. This was a humanoid robot built for engagement, for charm, and for brand storytelling. It didn't need to lift heavy boxes. It needed to create a moment, and it did exactly that. This kind of robotic appearance marks a bold new chapter in brand marketing. Pepsi's not just promoting drinks anymore. They're turning to humanoid robots as emotional and cultural touchpoints. The FSBOT wasn't designed to perform complex industrial tasks. It was engineered to connect with people, to spark conversations, and to live on in photos, videos, and social media clips. AgiBot, the company behind this creation, is clearly aiming at a new market segment. While most robotics firms chase industrial or medical use cases, AgiBot is betting big on public-facing humanoids for brand experiences. That means robots at concerts, robots at product launches, robots on TV, or even robots embedded into pop culture campaigns. It's not just about functionality, it's about memorability. And Pepsi nailed the formula. A humanoid robot combined with a global sports legend, broadcast through every imaginable media channel. It's viral gold. This isn't just future-facing. It's happening right now, and it's changing the rules of engagement. You might be wondering what exactly this robot can do. It walks smoothly, gestures with fluidity, and responds to cues. It can speak, hold brief conversations, pose for photos, and move with an almost human rhythm. What it lacks in utility, it makes up for in presence. It's a robot designed to be seen, remembered, and shared. The FSBOT isn't trying to be a silent backstage worker. It's a showstopper. And this may be the beginning of a trend where we see more brands using humanoids to elevate their identity, stand out in a crowded market, and bring technology closer to consumers in an emotionally resonant way. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While Amazon and Pepsi are doing radically different things with robots, logistics versus marketing, they're both tapping into the same core truth. Humanoid robots are no longer novelty machines. They're becoming tools for influence. Whether it's the quiet reliability of a delivery robot or the charisma of a stage-ready performer, these machines are entering our everyday lives from both ends of the spectrum. Amazon's bet is that people will accept and even prefer receiving packages from a robot that moves like a human. Pepsi's bet is that people will be thrilled and captivated when a robot shakes hands with a celebrity. Both are probably right. And together, these approaches signal something bigger. Humanoids are moving out of the lab and into the world at scale. There will come a time, sooner than most expect, when it won't be weird to see a robot walking down your street or entertaining a crowd. They'll be part of how products get to you and how brands speak to you. And what makes this moment so pivotal is that some of the world's most influential companies are leading the charge. Amazon is showing us how humanoids will change the infrastructure of commerce. Pepsi is showing us how they'll become cultural icons. One walks your package to the door, the other walks the red carpet. But both represent a future that's already unfolding in front of our eyes. So the next time your doorbell rings, don't be surprised if it's not a person standing there. And the next time you're watching a major product launch, don't be surprised if a humanoid robot steals the show. Because this is the new normal. This is the future, fully embodied, walking and talking among us. And it's only just getting started.